What is going on, YouTube? It is time for a M2 Monday, and today we are going to be doing an M2 model kit of the 54 Chevy 3100 truck. This thing is awesome. Comp cams. Really digging this casting. So let's get it out of there and see what we can make out of this thing. Oh yeah, check that out. This is just a awesome looking truck. The details in this are fantastic. Very cool. Let's go and screw this from the base and start putting this thing all together. All right, check this out. Comp cams. What's that say? 3406 Dearmont Road, Memphis, Tennessee, 39119. That is awesome. Look at that exhaust coming out the back. 1954 Chevrolet. Wow. This thing is beautiful. You can't really open the engine on it. It doesn't look like the door's open either. We'll figure it out though. Looks like we got a few screws to take apart. But you know what? I'm going no directions on this one. So we'll see how that turns out. After the first one I did, I think it's just better to go without and just try and figure it out as I go. Got two screws in the base here. Looks like I need to take these out so I can put the engine and all the other cool stuff in there. There we go. Check that out. Looks like two different pieces. Wow. I am blown away by M2's creativity when making these cars and everything. That is so cool. Let's see. Looks like the doors do not open on this one. And I think we're going to have to take the hood off to put this engine in. That's what it looks like to me anyway. There we go. Look at that. Check that out. You want to talk about building a custom car? M2 has taken the cake on that. Lots of pieces. All right. Well, got it taken apart. What options do we have today? Oh, looks like we've got two different engines there. Wow, look at that. Very cool. A couple different options for rims and tires. So let's crack this open. See what we're going to put in here. All right, a couple different engine options here. One with a little scoop. Check those out. Very cool. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I think I'm going to go with this one. I think it'll give a little cleaner look. That's my thought anyway, but what do I know? See if we can get it in there. It just sits right in. Check that out. That looks awesome. Actually, let's test them and see what looks better. Not sure which way this one's supposed to go, but it is having a hard time getting in there. Check that out. Very cool. I think I'm digging this other one better. So that is going to be the one I'm going with. Just like that. I think if we do it this way, put the engine in and try and close it down there. There we go. How about that? Make sure it's sitting in there right. There we go. Big old engine sticking out of the hood. I think I'll eventually glue that in there. Got the hood screwed into place. Sitting here looking pretty good. Put that down. It's like a puzzle going on here, a die-cast puzzle. Now I know why they had 2 screws in this thing. Hold the back end on and hold the front end on. There we go, just like that. Very cool. This is a heavy car. All right, that's together. Time for the wheels. So what kind of wheels should I go with here? You know, I think I got to keep it old school. Go with these big old deep dish rims. That's the one we're going to go with. Pretty cool. And should I put the big old slicks on there? We're going to go with like the normal tread tire. You know what? It's comp cams. Let's go with the big old slicks. How about that? There we go. I think that'll work. And I will hold on to these for some future project. So this is probably the hardest part of the build. I'm getting these dang tires on here. These tires don't flex very much, and you gotta get them in there and pry away. So I will spare you the pain and suffering of this step, and I'll meet you when I have it all put together. All right, well, got my workout in for the day. These things are not easy to put on, but got them on there, and they actually look pretty freaking cool. Very impressed with them, actually. They are very sweet. Now, time to get them on the car. So it's fairly easy to put these axles on. One thing you got to keep in mind is just to try and keep them as straight as you can. And just like that. And what I do, I'll lay it down on a flat surface, and the back end of these screwdrivers that they provide, I'll just press down, and you can feel it get in there kind of snug. And then you just got to remember to do one at a time, otherwise you're going to mess it up. And oof, this one's a tough one. Oh, tricky, tricky. Apparently, you can't put these on without taking the bed off. So, I'm going to have to take this all apart again, apparently. I'm sure if I would have read the directions, it probably would have directed me to do it that way. But, oh well. There we go. Look at those big old meats. Holy cow. Those look pretty freaking cool. Not a whole lot of room to get those front tires on there, so I had to put a little drop of glue in there to hold the wheels on there a little bit. Hopefully it will still allow it to roll, but we will see. This thing's not going to be winning any races going down the track anyway, but I would still like it to roll. M2 makes these model kits pretty convenient with the wheels and engine and screws and screwdriver, so pretty hard to beat. If you're getting into customizing these die-cast cars, this would actually be a pretty legitimate place to start. It would at least get you a foot in the door on how the cars come apart and what's inside and what you got to do. But yeah, check that out. Very cool. I'm digging it. All put together and looking sweet. I really like it. Check that out. These don't roll very well. They kind of don't have a whole lot of space in there, but they still roll pretty well. And that engine's a little off center, but I think I'm gonna have to glue that in place. But still, very impressive. Very happy with these M2 models, and very cool. Let's go take a closer look at this thing. I gotta say, I am pretty dang impressed. M2 did a fantastic job on this '54 Chevy. And I think having those wheels on there is what makes this thing pop and brings it all together. Very cool casting, and M2 did a heck of a job on this thing. The details that are in this thing are insane. Everything down from the windshield wipers, and you may not have seen it, but in the front grille, it actually says Chevrolet. The Comp Cams logo on the doors with the address. And what you may not have seen, and I'll try and show it, but there's actually says Comp Cams in the back window. And everything from the exhaust, door handles, the little emblem on the hood. M2 did a heck of a job. Very pleased with this. And, you know, these little M2 diecast models are actually pretty fun to put together, I must say. And so far, I'm very pleased with how they come together and what the finished product is. Very impressive. I highly recommend going out and picking one up for yourself. But in the meantime, leave a comment down below with what you think.